Hey everybody, and welcome to an exciting first look at Face Noir, a fantastic game by the Italian indie studio Mad Orange. My name's Antonymity, and I'm an intern with Phoenix Online Studios. You may already recognize that name, as they are the creators of the King's Quest tribute series The Silver Lining, as well as the highly popular detective thriller series Cognition. Now, Face Noir has already been released in Italy and Germany, and Mad Orange really wanted to bring their game to North America, but they lacked an English translator. Phoenix Online heard about this and got in touch with Mad Orange, where the two studios agreed to work together toward an English translation. So ever since March of 2013, Phoenix Online has been working very hard on translating the game into English and providing English voiceover talent to the game. Now, Phoenix Online and Mad Orange have graciously given me permission to present to you all an exclusive first look at the game, complete with its new English translations. I'll be taking us through the first area of the game, where I'll explain the gameplay mechanics, offer useful pointers to keep in mind as you play, and overall give you a feel of what the game's about. So with that, let's get to it.
Stop that plane from leaving.
What are you going to do?
I don't know yet. You get the car. It's hidden in the trees near the entrance. The keys are on the dash.
Okay.
Keep the engine running. We need to leave as soon as I get the girl.
Jack?
Yes?
Be careful.
There's no time to be careful. Not this time. Greta, go! Dannazione. It's too late.
It looks like you're too late, Del Nero.
What are you doing here? Why aren't you on that plane?
I hate traveling. I'm not the kind of guy who crosses the desert on a camel. I prefer the comfort of the big city. Moreover, had I left, I would have missed the chance to deal with you. You made me look ridiculous in the eyes of the organization, and I don't have any intention of letting you get away with it.
And what do you want to do? Kill me? I can see it on your face that you've never shot anyone. You're not that kind of guy. You send your men to do your dirty work.
You're right. I've never shot anyone, even though many men and women died because I ordered it.
How brave.
But you know, there's a first time for everything. It was destiny, Del Nero.
It had to be a little past 4 in the afternoon. I had just lit one of the many cigarettes that fill my days with no clients, when a middle-aged guy comes into my office with 2 caterpillars for eyebrows and a cigar hanging from his mouth. He introduces himself as Harvey Weber, the owner of Weber Company, a meat house in Larchmont. After 10 minutes of pointless chatter about his job, he gives me a photograph. Susan Weber, 20 years old, Harvey's stepdaughter. He tells me all about her carefree lifestyle, her dreams of becoming an actress, and how she hasn't come home in weeks. But how he keeps getting bills for clothes, shoes, and other things that might catch the eye of a 20-year-old girl with a well-heeled old man. Harvey, because of his divorce agreement with his ex-wife, is responsible for supporting the girl until she turns 21. So the kid decides to take advantage of her old man while she can and spend as much as possible until she turns 21. But Harvey Weber isn't one to sit on his hands, and he got his attorneys on the case. They think that if Susan were caught having an affair that her old man wouldn't know of, it could bring the evidence to court and get her cut off. Just one photograph would do it, according to Harvey. I take the job. I'll get him that photograph. The whole thing will cost him $30 a day, plus expenses, paid in advance. Harvey gives me a check for $30 and leaves my office. I cash the check, toss down something that can be called a dinner, and I'm already in Harlem. A few dollars got me a tip that Harvey Weber's kid might be around here, at the Last Heaven Hotel, to be precise. According to the information that I have, a few days ago, some blondie went on a shopping spree here in Harlem. In this neighborhood, if you have money to spend on clothes and jewelry, it's easy to get noticed. I even managed to find out that the girl was seen entering the Last Heaven Hotel. I'd better ask a few questions.
Alright, so that was our intro to the game. Seems like he's getting caught up into some bad things that eventually gets him shot. Alright, so one of the things that you will be doing often is walking around. Just left click, walk. Walk, walk, walk. Excellent.
It's better to stay on the sidewalk. Getting run over by a car is an experience that I'd rather avoid at the moment.
He's afraid of streets. Another thing that this game is great at is giving the ability to look at so many things. You can see the little cursor here. You can even look at some trash if you want. Just left click.
Just a pile of junk. It's my car. Besides my investigator's license, it's the only thing I have. It looks like not even the shiny world of show business has managed to escape the grasp of the Great Depression.
So yeah, you can click on a lot of different things, and some things you will actually need to click on in order to advance the game, because there's a feature in the game called Insights, where you will use clues and bits of information that you pick up throughout the game in order to persuade people to give up more information or to work with you. Now one of these is actually right here on this poster. Now you won't know that you've gotten these until later, so...
The Second Life of Miss Gray, a film by Howard Paul, starring Vivian Leight. Vivian Leight, that's the same name that Harvey Weber gave me. From what he told me, his daughter greatly admires that actress.
Okay, so it doesn't tell you that it added anything, but it is a significant piece of information that does get added to this insight that we'll check out later. Here's some more things. Fat guy laundry.
Fat Tommy's laundry.
It.
Like the fact that some fat guy is washing my clothes is going to make me feel more certain of the results.
So the red arrows, that tells you an exit. So you can click the red arrow, and it'll change the scene where you're at. So here we have an alleyway, ladders, windows.
That ladder could be useful.
And now here's another thing to be mindful about, as we'll see here in a moment.
A gate, the cheapest way to keep away the bums from the dumpsters at the end of the alley.
If you right-click your mouse, you will have context-sensitive cursors show up. Now currently it's all gears, and the gears icon means that you can interact with the object somehow, so let's see what happens.
It's closed.
It's closed, okay. If we move our mouse to the top, we have an inventory. And you can click on items.
I'm afraid it would be too easy this way.
Click on objects in the world to interact with them.
No clue.
If you're not sure what something is, you can right-click to bring up the eyeball, and then left-click on the item.
These are my lock-picking tools. These trinkets have come in handy more than once. Valuable information is often the best hidden one.
Alright, so we got lockpicks. Let's go ahead and click that, and click on the gate.
I don't see why I should.
That seems weird. He has lockpicks and a locked door, but he doesn't think he should pick the lock. Well, this is one of those times in the game where you actually will have to do this, but not till later. So if you ever come across an obstacle that you think, well, why doesn't this work? It's probably because the game is not ready for you to do that yet. So we can't get in the alley, so why don't we go around and walk into the hotel. So here we have the hotel. We can look at the sign if we'd like.
Last Heaven Hotel. Curious name for a hotel in Harlem. From the information that I got, this is where Harvey Weber's stepdaughter is.
So once again, we have our flashing orange cursor designating an exit, so let's go on in. Alright. Seems like a pretty cozy place. And again, you can check out lots
There
of
are
different
photographs
things.
of black musicians hanging everywhere. Probably jazz players.
There's the door, trash, all that, so. We right click on a person. You know how earlier it was a gears icon because we could interact with something. Or with this, we could try to take the poster.
No, I don't see what I should do with
Right
it.
click on a person to talk to him. And then left click.
Hi, do you own this place?
Well, depends on who wants to know.
Now here's the speech. This is how you talk to people. So just choose an option. We'll try friend of a guest.
I'm a friend of one of your guests.
The last guy who introduced himself as such destroyed a room for a thing about lovers. So pardon me if I'm a little wary of friends of my guests.
Alright, fine. I'm a private detective.
I'm a private detective.
A private detective. I guess someone has gotten himself in trouble.
More or less, it's about a girl.
A girl, you say? There are a lot of them here. And for a few bucks, they can give you a night that will stay in your memories for a long, long time.
She's not a prostitute. Susan Weber, white, medium frame, blonde hair, 20 years, and pretty enough to cause her some troubles. Have you seen her?
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not used to giving out information about my guests to the first person who happens by. People come here to have a place where no one can find them, and not just for a place where to sleep. And I try to help them with that as much as I can.
Now this goes into a bit of a lengthy bit about why it's called Last 7. I'll leave that for you. If you want to pick this game up later, you can check that out and figure out why it's called Last 7. For now, let's just try this.
Come on, don't make a fuss. Tell me where I can find Ms. Weber.
Sorry, but you won't get anywhere by being pushy.
Forget about it.
Now, whatever you want.
This job probably doesn't pay too much. I'm sure that with a little encouragement, he would tell me more.
So that'll happen sometimes. You get done with something, you're not sure, you can't get anywhere else, and then, you get this little hint. So what have we got? We got some money. Money's usually a good way to get people to talk.
$10 should be more than enough for some information. These might make you change your mind.
Money to buy information? That must be one important girl you're looking for.
Enough for someone to hire me.
You know, lately, a lot of people like you have come by. They ask questions, look for people. Once, this hotel was considered one of the best in Harlem. Now it's become a shelter for criminals, easy women, and people who are running away from something. All it took was a couple of years of recession to turn New York into a cesspool. I wonder where this city's going to end up.
Where it always has. Nowhere.
You're always headed somewhere. Good or bad, you always have a direction. The day that New York will be rotten through and through, that will be the day that the good God himself will come down to crush it.
Don't count on that. I know people in this city who would manage to bribe your good God with a couple of well-aimed compliments.
Son, I guess you're not a believer.
I believe in whiskey, and in all those things that I can explain in a day.
Well, without faith, it's impossible to survive in this city. Everyone needs something to believe in.
Probably I just don't have anything worth believing in yet. Anyway, let's end this catechism lesson, and tell me where I can find the girl.
You said her name is Susan Weber?
Susan Weber, with 2 B's.
Susan Weber. Oh, you gave me money in exchange for information, but who says that I have any?
Dannazione, you must have a list with the names of your guests.
As I told you earlier, this hotel is a place where half the tenants are poor devils trying to get away from something. They usually don't give their real names. 100 John Smiths, a dozen George Washingtons, even a couple of Charlie Chaplins pass through this hotel.
So there is no room under the name Susan Weber?
That's right, son. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. If you want, you can take your money back.
Keep it. I'm sure it'll come in handy.
Alrighty, so no luck there. Now, if you remember, I told you that looking at that poster outside, it gave you a piece of information for insight. We're going to use that now. So why don't we go ahead and talk to the guy again.
Son, what else can I do for you?
And now you see we have a new option here, and it's colored blue. The blue options are the insight options. So let's see what this looks like.
I have a question for you.
Tell me.
Can you use your head? On the screen, you'll find the information you've collected during your investigation. Now you have to use your head. Select two pieces of information to connect. If there is a connection, you'll gain new insight that you can use to further your investigation. Please remember, if you can't find a connection, you may not have all the information you need to get ahead. So roll up your sleeves and get back to the investigation. So like I said, if we hadn't checked out that poster earlier, then this wouldn't be here. Susan Weber's old man claimed that his daughter greatly admires an actress named Vivian Leigh. And we saw that poster outside, and you saw him remember, oh yeah, she really likes Vivian Leigh. So that's how that became an option for this. Blondie in Harlem, wealthy blondie you've seen Last Heaven Hotel, and the hotel guests. So the guy running the hotel says people use fake names all the time. Well, we obviously know that she is a hotel guest, and her passion is Vivian Leigh. Maybe she checked in under Vivian Leigh's name. Let's try it out. So we clicked hotel guests, now we'll click Susan's passion. You could do it either way.
Is there a woman called Late among your guests?
Late, yes. She matches your description. White, young, and blonde. Is she the woman you're looking for?
Yes. What room is she in?
Room 313, third floor, end of the hallway.
Thanks.
Alright, so that's how the insight works.
I don't have anything else to ask you.
Well, if you need me, I'm here.
There will be also times later in the game where you'll need to look at specific items in the game. It doesn't appear in Insight, but it does have little mini games. Like there's one where you need to forge a document and you need somebody's signature, and so you have to look for that person's name to figure out who it is. So season 313, let's go upstairs and check it out. Oh, it looks like we got 313 right here. You can see a bunch of different things that we could check out. Let's check out the window.
It overlooks 125th Street. It's today's newspaper. The usual news that comes out before the New York mayoral elections. Each candidate smears the others, trying to steal as many votes as possible. At the end, it will be the least immoral one who will win, or the one who'll do the best job in hiding his skeletons in the closet.
So you can go ahead and click on the different articles to get kind of an overview of what they're about.
It looks like the rain from these last few days knocked out the telephone lines. In some areas of the city, the service will be cut off to avoid a short circuit.
Okay, so that's that. That'll be handy later too. You always want to check out the newspapers, any that you find. So, let's check out the room.
Room 313. It's Susan Weber's room.
Remember, you right click and it'll give you the context sensitive option to interact with the object that you're hovering over. So this one looks like we can listen in, so let's try that.
I've finally gotten away from my clod of a stepfather. I couldn't take it anymore. He thought I should spend my entire life behind the counter of a butcher shop. I'm an actress. I was born to act in movies. Big productions. Isn't that right, Teddy Bear?
Of course, baby. I'll make you the biggest star in Hollywood.
Yes, Howard. With you, I'll be the next Vivian Leigh. Actually, you'll make me even more famous than her. You'll give me her parts and I'll exceed her. I'll be the number one. Right, teddy bear? Right?
And here's our Susan. I'll take a few pictures of her with her teddy bear. And tomorrow morning I'll give them to Harvey Weber. This way I'll get the rest of my money.
Cool. So now we need to get a picture. And here's another important reminder to always try to look at everything that you see. There's doors, there's lights, little boxes, even little unsuspecting little boxes like that.
There's a little panel here.
Alright, this is a little mini-game type thing. You'll encounter these fairly often. You have to take full control of a situation. When the mouse icon appears in the lower corner, you can dynamically interact with the object. Click left button to enter dynamic mode. This will enable you to move the object by following the instructions. You can open doors, move levers up and down, lift and move objects, or even break them. Alright. So here we see, we hover and we have the left mouse button highlighted, so let's click that. Okay. And then the right mouse button's flashing. I think it wants us to hit that repeatedly. Alright, so it looks like we were able to bust the thing open here, so we'll move that. It's a thermostat. There's 313. Why don't we turn this to max? Alright, and we'll shut this. We'll make it really hot in that room. Well, we need a picture, and I'm going to assume that each of the rooms have windows. So let's go outside.
Susan Weber's room number.
Yeah. Downstairs. There we go. Downstairs and outside. Now we'll go into the alley.
It's hot as hell in this room. One day it's cold, the next one it's hot. Tomorrow, I'm gonna give an earful to the owner of this crappy room. You don't treat a future movie star this way.
Good. That must be our Susan's room. Now I have to find a way to open that gate.
Alrighty, so like I said earlier, you know, it's the things that make sense to you might not work at one time, they might work later. So let's try the lockpick on here again.
I knew that it was a good idea to bring them with me.
Thieves' tools. Each lock is composed of small cylinders you can open by only one key, unless you have a lockpick. Slowly rotate the lockpick inside the lock, and one at a time, snap each cylinder into place. Find the correct position to successfully pick the lock, obviously. That's what we want to do here. We'll grab this, and we'll just move it. There's a click, we'll move it left. There's a click, move it right.
Dannazione. The lock just reset. I have to start over.
So it'll let you start over, or you can click skip if you want. Let's try to pick it. I think it may reset again. Ah, there we got it. Cool. So yeah, you can pick locks, that's always fun. Alrighty. So there's the window.
That's the window of room 313, Susan Weber's room.
And it looks like to get a picture, we may have to get up here.
The door must lead into the theater. The theater's service entrance. This is probably where they load and unload the materials for the performances. Right. Too bad I left my lucky crowbar at home. There are some metal bars on the ground. Yes, I'll take one. This bar could be helpful.
Sure could. Wonder if we can use it on that door.
No clue. At least none that makes any sense.
Okay, I guess not. So, looks like we'll climb up the ladder.
That ladder could be useful. It's too high for me to use it.
So what we want to do is, obviously I think we want to climb on a dumpster, but...
A dumpster, the kind that has wheels on the bottom so that you can move it. There's a break here. The street is probably downhill a little, so if I unlocked it, the dumpster would roll all the way down to the road.
So here what you want to do is you take your crowbar, put it in the grate.
Let's try.
If you put it in that grate, the dumpster will only roll till there. I haven't tried to see if I could roll it all the way out or not. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's get this going.
A dumpster, the kind that has wheels on the bottom so that you can move it. There's a break here.
Oh, we'll interact with it.
Yes, it could work.
There it goes. Nice. Alright, let's interact again. We'll climb up on top of it. We'll get up to the top here.
Okay.
Okay. Sweet. Alright, so let's bring out our camera. And we'll use it on the window.
Now's the time to earn my 30 bucks.
So I'm using the mouse to move this around. And looks like they're kissing. That seems like a good picture to take.
Good. This shot will work just fine. A photo of the stepdaughter necking with the first guy that promises to make her a star. This should be enough for Harvey Weber to get his lawyers involved, and it's definitely enough for me to get out of here.
Let's get out of here then. Sure is raining a lot. I'd like to get home. Now you notice he walks everywhere. He doesn't run. So. And there's my car. So why don't we go hop in?
I open the door and jump into the car, ignoring how the seats are getting soaked with my wet clothes. It's water. It'll dry sooner or later. I put the key in the ignition and start the engine. But something isn't working. The gas gauge is on E. The tank must be empty. Following a lead on a case and forgetting to fill up the tank. It's a rookie's mistake. Or maybe the mistake of someone who's simply starting to get sick of this life.
Man.
I'll have to find another way to get out of here.
Alright. How else could we get out? We're probably gonna have to rely on somebody else. And we know there's a guy over here in the hotel. Maybe he's got a phone. We can call a cab, call a friend. Oh, one thing before I do that, since this is also kind of a walkthrough. You'll see this here, nothing's happening. This isn't an object I can interact with. But it will be. So keep that in mind as you play. If you hover your mouse over an object and it seems to not do anything, that doesn't mean it won't later. Just to keep that in mind. Let's talk to this guy.
Son, what else can I do for you?
Do you have a telephone?
Do you have a telephone?
Yeah, we had one.
You mean you don't have one anymore?
We do have the telephone, but it's just not working. I've been waiting for someone to come and fix it for weeks, but nothing so far. Yeah, the technicians come every 3 months to make sure that the control panel is working, but After a few weeks, there's no more dial tone.
So it's not the first time that it's broken?
In the last few years, I've called the technician at least 10 times, and every time he asks for more money. If this weren't a hotel, I'd get rid of it tomorrow.
Where is the control panel?
Oh, I don't have a clue. Must be somewhere outside the building, near the alley entrance.
Okay.
I don't have anything else to ask you.
Well, if you need me, I'm here.
And as I'm always stressing, make sure you pay attention to all the details.
There are some candies in this bowl.
You shouldn't take those candies. They've been there for years.
I'll take my chances. I've put worse in my stomach. I'll keep it with me. There's no way I'm eating it, since I'd like to avoid getting dysentery.
Alright. Now we see that we can interact with it. So again, keep that in mind. Sometimes things you can't interact with before, you can do it later.
Let's have a look. This is no breakdown. The cable was cut, and by the look of it, it definitely wasn't an accident. The only way to make the telephone work again is to reattach the wire.
And that's where our candy comes into play.
Yes, the candy wrapper should hold it together. Let's hope it works.
Son, what else can I do for you?
Telephone.
Your telephone should be working now.
Do they also teach you how to repair telephones in your private detective training?
No, just to find out when someone's trying to rip you off. I suggest you call another technician next time. And if you could call me a cab now, I'd be very grateful.
Of course, son.
A night spent under the rain makes even this grubby old cab seem welcoming. The driver is a quiet guy, unlike most drivers who, on a dollar trip, are happy to tell you the story of their life. The only thing he asked was, "Where to?" Essex Street was my only answer. Before going home, I have to return Greta's camera. I disappeared saying I'd get it back to her in a few days. It's been more than a week. The cab turns down Essex Street. Here we are. The trip costs me $2. $1.50 fare plus a 50-cent surcharge for the night rate. Night rate. I hate cab drivers. Good. Greta's place is still open. A sip of whiskey is just what I need to cap off today.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna call it good for now. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Go ahead and leave some comments about the video, about the game. Tell us what you think about how well the translation was. Tell us what you think about the voice actors that Phoenix brought to the table for this. You know, tell us what you think about the game, how it works, how you like the story. Just anything about it, really, if you want. And I do want to thank you for watching the video. And look down below in the description for some important links to Phoenix, to Mad Orange, and some other information that will update there for you. So once again, my name's Antonymity, and you all have a great day.